Play underway. My name is Wally Shaver. We welcome you to all who are watching our webcast of the first game of this 8-team tournament featuring teams from all across North America. Ball out of bounds is a face-off. The referees do not drop the puck or the ball. Instead, they get out of the way. Who wants to get run over by these machines? Off the face-off, Minnesota controlling as they get the puck or the ball back to Jacob Ritter. Ritter plays it in behind the Ottawa goal, centered out in front, tipped wide off the goaltender. In goal is Thalia McBride for Ottawa. Well, down at the other end, it is Danny Sedgman for Minnesota Selects. Ottawa's in their third Power Hockey Cup tournament. But over the last couple of years, they've been quite successful in the Canadian Championships, winning a bronze medal in both 2011 and 2013. A couple player changes now for Ottawa. Capitals coming on are number 9, Mohamed Awad. He'll be taking the face-off to the right of the Ottawa goal.
Penalty, number 7, Ottawa for crease violation.
And a penalty to Ottawa for a crease violation. That'll be a 2-minute power play now for the Minnesota Selects. Awad coming on in a penalty kill role for Ottawa. Adjustment being made to the clock here to get things set. Penalty goes to number 7, Moses York. 2 minutes for crease violation. Again, and no machines can go into that area. And he was probably in there helping defend, which is not allowed. Goalkeepers cannot use their legs in any way to make saves. It's got to be hands, stick, or the chair. Minnesota back in behind their own goal, coming around to the left side. Bringing it up is A.J. Krieg. Pass blocked, picked up by Chris Cram. Cram's pass is blocked. He then blocks another one himself on that clearing effort. But back it comes to Rachel Dean of Ottawa. Off to the right of her goal. Rachel hands it off to the defense. Here is Cameron with it. That's Blaine Cameron, the veteran of 41 years of age on this Ottawa team. And he gets the clear. Cram back after the ball for Minnesota. No score in the early going of this contest. 1.5 minutes into the tournament, let alone the game. Cram shoots it down. Back after it is Awad. Goes around his net for the security. Tries to bank it off the boards, partially blocked, allowing Minnesota to keep alive. Back the ball comes to Cram, lets a shot go. There's a nice save by Thalia McBride. Cram after it in the corner, trying to pry it loose for the Minnesota Selects. Digging away 1 against 3. Cram doing a fine job, pulls it free, cuts out in front, and whistles a shot that's deflected off of a stick just wide. Mohamed Awad taking control. Bounces into the chair of A.J. Krieg. Make it number 22. That's Jacob Ritter. He and his brother Nathan, who wears 33, are identical twins. There's a ball that's deflected high and wide over top net and out of play. Face-off will be to the left of the Ottawa goal. Cram on the draw with Awad. Players must wait until the whistle and then play the ball off the face-off. Cram gets a shot right on goal, blocked by McBride. Unable to clear. Back it comes to the point, almost stripped away from Cram, but he's able to hold it alive. Getting it over to the Ritter. And Jacob's shot off a stick wide. Cameron picking it up behind his own net now for Ottawa. His pass is blocked. Taken away by Jacob Ritter. Back for Cram, knocked loose from him. And here's an opportunity now for York going right in. Solo and a backhander is just inches wide of the Minnesota net. Cameron is there to pick it up. York offering support. Passed out in front. York quickly over, getting control of the ball. And shot down to the corner. Chris Cram grabbing it there. Rounds his net. Heading up the right side now. A little collision. No contact to be made by the chairs. Any T-boning is a minor penalty in this sport. Cram behind his goal. Getting away from Awad. Tries to fling it up court. Blocked by Awad. Awad taking it to get away from Ritter. His shot attempt is stopped by Cram. Bounces back inside the Ottawa defensive zone. Moses York going around his net, 34-year-old veteran. He's a level 1 player. Each team in this tournament is allowed one level 1 player. They have more mobility than some of the others ranked at the 2 and 3 level. Cram, the level 1 player on the Minnesota Selects, has a play blocked. Back after it is Luke Peterson, number 20 for Minnesota. It looks like we have an interference penalty being called. Changes being made as Minnesota is going to go into a penalty kill mode as the penalty is being called to number 20, Luke Peterson. Peterson off for interference. 2-minute power play now, greeting the Ottawa Capitals. Off the draw, Awad playing it back to Harb, now in the lineup for Ottawa. Backhand shot deflected off of Chris Cram, who chases it down in the corner to the left of his goal. Cram eating up some clock time, slowly going around. No pressure yet from Ottawa. Roddy Harb trying to get in there on the forecheck. Awad there as well for Ottawa. Cram just continues to eat up time, going left to right behind his own goal. Flings it down court, and that's going to clear the zone for Minnesota Selects. No score in the game. 5 minutes gone by in the opening period of play. Each team with one power play. Ottawa currently on their first manpower advantage. Roddy Harb up ice, taking a long shot, deflects, and bounces out of play. Will face it off to the right of the Minnesota goal. Getting a piece of that one for the Minnesota Selects was number 21, Allison May, a level 3 player. Cram on the draw now with York. Or make that Awad out there, taking that face off. Cram controlling along the boards, surrounded by players. Awad trying to pry it off the wall. And a good job by Harb in there too to keep containment and trying to get it free. Ball tied up under the chair of Roddy Harb. Squirts free. Awad takes control, working the boards. Little pick trying to be set up by Harb, but goes back into the corner to the right of the Minnesota goal. Cleared by Cram, not out. Drilled back in towards the net, blocked out in front. Here's Awad after it, trying to find a handle on the thing, can't. Hands it off to Harb. Harb back on the point position, back over to Awad. Play blocked. Another shot, stop. Now coming up on a partial break is Jacob Ritter. Ritter, 22, flings one goalward, and that's just wide. Substitution made as the penalty time has expired. Minnesota back at full strength now is A.J. Krieg. No, that's number 32, not 2. That's Jason Zylstra. On the pawn now for Minnesota. Chris Cram, who started this game and hasn't left the playing surface yet, headmans it up court. Play blocked, kept in, and a good effort there by Roddy Harb. Cram circling his goal. Brings a green-clad Minnesota Selects up for Jacob Ritter. Playing it down low for Cram, who on a little give-and-go play. Cram circling back towards center. Being watched closely by Harb. Lets a low shot go. Blocked by the chair, the netminder McBride. A little bit of a scramble out in front. Puck flows free off to the side. It's stuck under the chair of number 32 for Minnesota, Zylstra. As Zylstra plays it in behind the net, it's recontrolled now by Mohamed Ahmad for Ottawa. Played down into the Minnesota zone. 4 players aside and 1 goalkeeper. And a little collision. Play halted, and it looks like a penalty coming up against Ottawa. No penalty. A chair collision brings a face-off back to the right of the Minnesota goal. Scoreless first period between Ottawa and the Minnesota Selects, one of 2 Minnesota teams in the tournament. The other Minnesota squad are the Saints, the 2-time defending champions, as this is the 6th Power Hockey Cup Championship tournament. Had a great opening ceremonies here, introducing all the teams in the tournament, all the players. Special appearance, too, by 2 former NHL players who were here to help with ceremonial face-offs in Bob Paradise and Stanley Cup champion Tom Chorsky of the New Jersey Devils back in his heyday of 1995. Ottawa in control. Moses York sends it up court, picks it up. It's a 2-on-1. He's got Cameron with him. Feeds him. Cameron, a breakaway, a shot, and it's knocked aside on a last-second dive by Chris Cram to get a stick in there. Cram in behind his goal for Minnesota. Sees a long headman pass effort go just a little bit out of the reach of Zylstra. And the Capitals again with it. Quick turn, and York speeds up. York handing it off now to number 73, Blaine Cameron. His efforts stop, but York regains control for Ottawa. York down the left side, lifts one goalward, and it's just high and wide of the Minnesota net. Scooped up by Jacob Ritter and flung out to the center court area. Cram after it, warded off the play by York. York, the level 1 player for Ottawa. Tries to pass it through to Cameron. Broken up by Ritter. And York scampers back to gain control once more for the Capitals. Stick handles around 1. Flings one netward, and it bounces just wide of the goal. Still scoreless here in our opening period, almost 10 minutes old into the tournament. York, pass blocked. Cameron after it as well as York. Cameron will just backhand chop it. Broken up in front by Jacob Ritter. York and Cram collide chairs as they both go after it. Angling and colliding is okay as both players were trying to play the ball. Long fling shot from center court goes wide off the stick of Jacob Ritter. Cram picking it up. Stick handling around. Chops from center, blocked by York. Can't find the ball and has to retrieve it back into his own zone. Delayed offside in effect. Minnesota gets back onside. Like ice hockey, you just have to get back in touch with the blue line in hockey. Same thing here. Get back in touch with the center ice, or the center court white line. On now is Chris Pavone, number 43 for Ottawa. Had the ball stuck under his chair. Ritter back for Cram. His shot deflected wide by the veteran Cameron. Backhand chop again. Goes wide at McBride in goal as Zylstra had a nice opportunity. One of the better ones for Minnesota here in our opening period. Still scoreless. 3.5 to go opening period. Back to the side of her goal to grab the puck is Allison May. Blonde-haired, number 21, young lady. Pass up court. Nobody there from Minnesota, and allows a host of Ottawa Capitals to get back and control the play. York trying to bounce it off the boards to himself. Can't. It's deflected towards the net. Swept aside by McBride in goal. York finds room. Angles left. Tried to pass it to his left. That was blocked by Cram. Cram now looking for a setup. Backs up. Heads back to his left. Little bump off the wall to himself. Spinorama move. Centered in front. And just missing it was Zylstra down there. Cameron once again for Ottawa. All the members of this Ottawa team come from the city of Ottawa. Shot blocked out in front. The speedster York. Heading up court. Chopped off of his stick by Cram. York turns to check things out. Now dumps it along the left wall back into the Minnesota zone. Delayed offside against Ottawa as Cameron's in too deep. I don't think he's aware of it yet. Play tagged up. And Cram retrieves from Minnesota. Long pass up court, misses everybody. Capitals back for it in a scoreless first period with 1:44 remaining. Cameron. Whoa, almost a dangerous pass. McBride, the goaltender, has to get a stick on it. And it's swatted back into the neutral zone and out into the Minnesota territory. Cram with the ball. Got a man offside, gets onside. So Cram brings it in on the attack, going down the right wing. Lets a shot go, blocked by McBride. She's been the busier of the two goalkeepers here in this first period of play. Harb in behind her own goal for Ottawa. Moves off to the left. A little bump pass. We get down to the final minute now of our opening period of the tournament. Minnesota has it at center. Both these teams are in Pool B. Pool B features Minnesota, Ottawa, Philadelphia, and Michigan. Cram behind his goal. Long pass off the boards, nicely picked up. Minnesota on the rush, can't quite complete it. Lucas Braun taking that pass. Cram after it for the selects. Loses out to Harb. She circles back into her zone for Ottawa with a half-minute remaining, less than that. Flung deep into the corner. Cram will be the first one back. Cameron watching him for Ottawa. Cram and Cameron. Played out in front of the Minnesota zone. Jacob Ritter can't quite get to it. Now sends it off the wall back out to center. And an offside. Ottawa had it, played it back across the line, but again, a chair was across that white center line, making it an offside play. Just have 1.2 seconds left on the official clock here in Roy Wilkins Auditorium. And that's going to do it with a last-second shot by Cram going for the upper left corner. No goal as the buzzer had sounded. Wow, what a finish to the period there. So no score between Ottawa and Minnesota after their opening period of play. Teams will take a short break of about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll head into our next period of play. We'll try to pick up some statistics for you and be back for second period call in just a moment. Again, no score after the first period between Ottawa and the Minnesota Selects. We welcome you back, everybody, to the Roy Wilkins Auditorium here in downtown St. Paul. All part of the River Center complex. It includes this auditorium, a convention hall, and the XL Energy Center with a Minnesota Wild play right next door, all conveniently connected. We're here in the first game of the 2014 Power Hockey Cup Championship Tournament. Features 4 teams from Canada and 4 teams from the United States. 2 here from the home state of Minnesota, where power hockey has been played for a dozen years now around here. No score after 1 period of play. There weren't many shots at all, maybe about 4 from Minnesota and 1 or 2 from the Ottawa Capitals, who now have the ball. Brought up by Roddy Harb, and a Harb shot deflects off a stick and out of play. Each team had 1 minor penalty in that opening period. So power plays and equal strength have not proved to be much of a difference maker so far in this tournament. Minnesota going for the ball right now. This is Nathan Ritter. There's a pair of Ritter twins on this team. They're Minnesota's answer to the Sedin twins. They were number 22 and number 33, respectively. Much like the Sedins do for the Vancouver Canucks. Here's Chris Cram, who is in a top player for Minnesota Selects, trying to center one out in front, but there's a host of red-clad Ottawa Capitals there to block any further attempt. Harb coming up the left wing side now, flips a long bouncer towards the Minnesota net. It goes narrowly wide. Minnesota trying to gain control. That's Chelsea Knutson back on defense in front of our goaltender for Minnesota. Up the left wing side. Minnesota trying to center it out in front off the stick of number 24, Lucas Braun. That was blocked. Braun after it along with Chris Cram on the left wing boards now for Minnesota. They're up against Roddy Harb. She lost it. Now Ritter has a chance. Nathan going in, but it's broken up and swept to the side by Rachel Dean of Ottawa. Cram sends one goalward. Blocked by number 19, Scott Haycock, the captain of Ottawa. Haycock plays it back down the floor. Minnesota trying to get a play going. Knutson sends it up, but Harb steals, flings it, blocked out in front by Knutson, and Awad follows up with a rebound to score. And Ottawa takes the lead 1-0 in the opening game of the tournament. Mohamed Awad scoring the goal. That comes at 2:17 of our second period. And there's a replay. You can see the ball has just centered by Harb. And deflected in on a nice follow-up by Awad.
Assisted by number 11, Roddy Harb, and number 19, Scott Haycock.
Harb and Haycock getting the assists as well on that goal by Awad. Scott Haycock, the captain, number 19, just put into the second period here. And Roddy Harb, who has played most of the opening period of play for Ottawa. Back in behind his own goal now is Moses York. 1-0 Ottawa Capitals here. First goal of the game coming here. Just 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes into our second period. Chris Cram tries a shot. York blocks it. Trying to speed up court now. Here is Harb flinging one to the net. Oh, and it bounces off the top and just in behind the goal. Chris Cram regaining control for Minnesota in the green jerseys. Cram has a player breaking in front of him, A.J. Krieg. Krieg breaks to the net as Cram goes the outside. Cram now trying to center for Krieg. Does. There's a shot. And that is blocked by McBride, the goaltender for Ottawa. Krieg still digging away down there, trying to pry it loose. A.J. Krieg, usually playing defense in goal, but he's turning into a threat up front. York playing it back down into the Minnesota zone. Cram getting back, flung out in front, picked up by, called him Krieg earlier, my apologies, it is Braun. Lucas Braun, down into the corner for Cram, trying to spin and come out, can't. Broken up by York. He comes down solo down the right side. The left-handed shot, stick handles, and rolls one just wide of the goal. Ottawa looked like they were outplayed in that first period by Minnesota, but boy, they've taken this thing by storm here in period 2. Braun can't get it around York, who goes back into his own end. Ottawa tags up to stay onside, and York, a long bouncer flung towards the Minnesota goal, goes wide. Marty Braun just lets it go into the corner. Allison May there turns. Headmans it to Cram. Chris Cram, stick handles across the center. Slows up. Stick handles around York on a nice little move. Little flip shot, blocked. Braun as well, can't get to it. York speeds over, grabs a loose ball, trying to get around Cram, who poke-checked it neatly away. Follow-up, and played to the Minnesota line by Johnson Wilson, in now for Ottawa. To York on the left, shot wide. May in behind her own goal from Minnesota. First-year team, this Minnesota select squad. Although there are 4 teams that play in the Minnesota Power Hockey League. A regular competition on a weekly basis. York forechecking. May takes it away. Allison May can't clear it out of the zone as York keeps control for Ottawa. Now a bounce shot flipped towards the net, deflected by the other Braun, and that's just wide. That's defenseman Marty Braun getting a piece of it. Allison May behind the goal, and now our referee Tim Coleman takes a little bit of a bump and lands on the back of the net. These referees got to be careful out there. Not an easy task when you've got 300-pound wheelchairs ready to run you down. 9.5 to go, period 2. It's a 1-0 game for Ottawa. The lone goal coming by Mohamed Awad. Just 2:17 here into our second period of play. On the whistle, they make the face-off play. Awad. The pass blocked. Kept alive by number 73 out there, Blaine Cameron. He's the oldest competitor between these two teams in this game today, at 41 years of age. Cameron's pass blocked as he lost his stick as well. Has to reach for it. Now Cram up the right wing. Slows up. Ottawa has all players back. Cram stick handling around. Has a shot off to the corner. Allison May cannot get to it. Awad circles off his wall. Long bounce shot, flipped towards the Minnesota net, and lands right in the lap of the goaltender, who holds for a face-off. Face off to the left of the Minnesota goal. Play back underway, 1-0 Ottawa. Cram behind his goal for Minnesota. Headman pass to Braxton Wiebusch. Back to Cram across the side court on the left wing. Cram's pass deflected. Getting back after it is Wiebusch. Knocked away from him and kept in deep by number 9, Mohamed Awad, who has a goal of this game so far. Game 1 of the Power Hockey Cup. 4 games to be played today. Followed by 8 games on Tuesday. That will complete pool play. And then we'll get into the playoffs on Wednesday. And then consolation and championship matches all day on Thursday, culminating with a 7 o'clock championship match. All games Central Time here in Minnesota. Play back to the side of the Ottawa goal. This is the 4th time out of 6 competitions on the North American Power Hockey Association Championships that the tournament has been held here in Minnesota. Chris Cram down the left wing. Sends it towards the net. An easy block out in front for the defense of Ottawa. And out there playing that position right now is number 16, Rachel Dean, right in front of her goalkeeper, McBride. And some player changes coming up as the ball out of play. Ottawa sending 3 newbies in. Minnesota will keep their 4 out there. Cram will take the draw for Minnesota. And he'll go up against Mohammed Awad. Cram wins the faceoff. Gets away from Harb. Harb set up the lone goal by Awad in this game. Harb has it behind her own goal for the Capitals. Using the controls with her right hand. Flings it with her left out to center. Allison May blocking it there for the Selects. Harb, a quick turn. Everybody onside, plays it in deep. May will have to hustle back for Minnesota. To May, to Cram. And it's stuck up onto the equipment of Harb. And we'll face it off now to the right of the Minnesota goal. Just 6.5 left in our second period, 1-0 Ottawa. Minnesota outplayed Ottawa in the first period. The reverse is true here in period 2. Now Minnesota with a break. Here they come up the side with Braun with it. Braun trying to get a shot. He does, right on, and McBride makes a nice save. The rebound by Cram, he scores. And Minnesota ties up the hockey game. Cram will get it, and the lone assist, or maybe the first assist at least, to Lucas Braun. This goal comes at 8:40.
Chris Cram, assisted by number 24, Lucas Braun.
Braun gets a lone assist. And it's a 1-1 game right now. Harb having a little discussion with the officials over there, who are Tim Coleman and Christine Jade. Face off back at center as Ottawa huddles up. And Awad will take the draw against Cram. They'll wait for the whistle. Ottawa's going to make a player change. And rolling onto the court now will be Scott Haycock. Awad and Cram set to dig in. There's the whistle, and they play off the face-off. Comes back in front of the Ottawa net. Shot to the side for Awad. Braun in there. Lucas Braun digging away for Minnesota. Braun picking up that assist on a nice play as he put it on goal. And Cram scoring on the rebound to tie up the hockey game at 1-1. Now there's another loose ball out in front. Minnesota trying to dig through. Braxton Weebush was at the side of the goal. He stays there as Cram turns and shoots. Blocked by Awad, bounces back into the Minnesota zone. And Allison May is there to retrieve for the Selects. Awad ties her up down in the corner. Harb in there as well. They surround May and allows Harb to get the foul, and her fling shot towards the net is wide. Cram will circle his goal for Minnesota. Looks up court. Bounce pass is just a little bit behind Weebush, sent right back in deep by Ottawa. Five and a quarter left, period 2, 1-1. Now Cram up for Weebush. Trying to come in off the boards, but the ball is taken away by Scott Haycock. To Harb. flings it back into the Minnesota zone. May helps deflect it to the side. Awad cruises in quickly to grab control for the Capitals. Can't go around the net, and May grabs it now for Minnesota. Headman pass to Lucas Braun. Braun tried to feed it up the slot, but Wiebusch could not catch up to the ball, and Harb again has it for Ottawa. Harb's pass, blocked by Wiebusch. Second effort brings it back into the Minnesota zone. Cram looking over his left shoulder, rings it around the net to the right wing boards. Wiebusch can't get to it as Awad does instead for Ottawa. Ottawa on the red, behind the Minnesota goal. Trying to play it out in front, blocked. Boards come loose. Players dropped his stick, regains control. That's Lucas Braun down there who set up the lone Minnesota goal, equalizing this game. Now up for Wiebusch, trying to turn off the boards. Can't. Grabbed by Awad. Mohamed Awad's pass towards the net is stopped by Allison May, who's been a strong defender back there. Now Awad in the slot has a shot, and that one was blocked by Lucas Braun. Brought up now by Wiebusch. Braxton Wiebusch down the right side to Chris Cram. His shot towards the net, blocked out in front. It's still free. McBride, the goaltender, comes out to stab it off to her right and into the corner. Now a deflected ball out of play, face off to the right of the net, with 3.5 to go in our second period. Player changes for Ottawa. 4 off, 4 fresh ones on. Minnesota making a defensive change as Allison May goes off. And back in the backcourt is A.J. Krieg defensively for the Selects. York back on to take the face-off against Cram. Cram wins, takes a shot right on, blocked by McBride. York getting it for Ottawa. Heads down the right wing board, squeezing past. Now comes in towards the net. Krieg, the last defender, and the shot is on goal and blocked. Minnesota right back. Chris Cram sends it across the floor. Picked up on the roll by Luke Peterson. Luke trying to send a soft pass out in front, block. York speeding after it for Ottawa. 1-on-1, slows down, sends it goalward, and it's over top of the net and bounces out of play. Under 3 to go, second period, 1-1. Here from the Roy Wilkins Auditorium, the legendary Roy Wilkins, home of the Minnesota Roller Girls roller derby entrance these days. But it's played host to Minnesota State high school hockey tournaments, basketball, and a host of entertainment venues over the course of the years. Face off in the Minnesota zone. More player changes by Ottawa. They've made changes a lot more frequently than Minnesota has. These chairs are all charged up so they can go a full game without any hesitation on the part of their equipment. Waiting for the whistle for the face-off. Again, the officials don't get in there to drop. They certainly don't want to get run over by these chairs. Harb turns and shoots. It hits the top of the goal and bounces back in behind the net. Ottawa's been quite successful at sending high shots towards the net and just missing the upper reaches of the corners. Another ball out of play brings a face-off to the other side this time, and more changes for the Capitals. York and a Harb will be up front for Ottawa. They've been a good combination. Mohamed Awad out there as well. This is their power trio here as we get down to the last 2.5 of our second period. Chris Cram comes in from Minnesota to take the draw against York. York trying to pull it free. Cram keeps it forced towards the outside. Ball stuck under his chair. Spins around to free it up. Taken now and cleared up the wall and out of the zone by Minnesota. Cram loses it. Taken and flung by Nathan Ritter. Got it back into the Ottawa zone. Harb working against Cram. Ritter tried to hold it in to the zone, but it did come out, trapping teammates offside. Good effort down there by number 33, Nathan Ritter. Twin brother of Jacob Ritter. They've basically been swapping into the lineup for each other. Cram and York looking for the draw. York passing on some instruction to Harb, who is waiting for a face-off win. York trying to pull it free, cannot. Cram wins that draw and plays it back for Ritter. Nathan has a pass blocked. Whoop, and lost out in front by York. Ritter again getting it. Cram stays onside at center, but the pass to him blocked by Harb. Taken now by York. Spins around looking for a wad. Gets it and fires a shot just wide. He has the lone Ottawa goal to open up the scoring 2 minutes into this period. Harb, who assisted on the play, digs after it. Cram gets it instead. He has the lone Minnesota goal to tie up the contest 6 minutes after the Ottawa goal. Awad. Long, high looper, bouncing wide. Cram will circle his net with it for Minnesota. Not held in. Delayed offside. Touched as it bounced off one chair to another of York, and that stops play. Face-off back to the left to the Ottawa goal with 1:09 left in the period. All games of this tournament will be webcast right here at powerhockeycup.com. Pass it along to your friends via Facebook or Twitter and let them know this is where you can go to catch all this action. 6th time that we've had an international championship. Minnesota selects a first-year program. Back onto the point. It's Ritter, has a shot blocked. York picks it up, trying to scoot around Peterson. Fakes left, now goes and lets a shot just go wide of the Minnesota goal. Awad back in for it. Awad out of the right corner. Surrounded by green-clad Minnesota selects. Will try to play it back. Does. Turning and shooting is Harb. Blocked as we get down to the last half minute of play. There had been a Minnesota penalty. Expired. Puck taken now by Chris. He'll just send it back down the left wing side. Picked up on the fly now by Luke Peterson, trying to cut in. Squeezed to the outside. Looking for Chris Cram a little bit behind him. Couple seconds left. They're not going to be able to get a play, and that's going to run down the clock to complete 2 periods of hockey here at the Roy. Each team scoring once. The first goal of the game coming at 2:17 of the second period. And that was scored by Mohammed Awad. And then at 8 minutes and 40 seconds, Chris Cram speared in a rebound shot off of the stick of Lucas Braun, and that tied up the score at 1-1, and that's where we stand following 2 periods of hockey. 1 to go. We'll take a little time out here and come back for period 3 in the first game of the Power Hockey Cup 2014 tournament. back. Welcome back to the Roy Wilkins Auditorium here in downtown St. Paul for Power Hockey Cup Championships 2014. Goaltender change for Minnesota for this third period. Jason Zylstra comes into the twine. And remaining in goal is Thalia McBride for the Ottawa Capitals. 1-1 game. Mohammed Awad has the lone goal for Ottawa. They struck first 2 minutes into the second period. And about 6.5 minutes later, it was Chris Cram answering from Minnesota. Cram at center. He has it. Delayed offside. Ottawa gets back on. The offside line is the white center line. Offside, very similar to ice hockey. Ball loose, comes outside the zone. Ottawa has to get back. They all tag up, stay onside, and drive it in deep. Minnesota back to retrieve. Cram gets set for an outlet pass, but instead, the Minnesota selects round their own goal. Brought up now by Braxton Webush. Webush down the left side. Trying to thread it through for number 24, Lucas Braun, who takes a stab at it. Harb taking control now for Ottawa. And Roddy Harb sends it in off her backhand side. Chris Cram zeroes into the corner for it, sends it on around his goal. Taking it there is Webush. Braxton has open field, heads down the left side. Checked off his stick by Mohammed Awad. Number 9 and the lone goal scorer for Ottawa. Harb in there helping. Turns and flings one goalward, but it bounces wide of the Minnesota net. Cram will get to it. And feeds it on around for Webush. Nice little pass ahead for Lucas Braun. Braun rolls it deep into the Ottawa zone. Letting it go deep into the corner was Rachel Dean for the Capitals. Awad behind his net now for the Caps. Checked off his stick by a swat from Chris Cram. Cram bouncing one out in front, headed out of there by the defender for Ottawa on a neat little play. That was Rachel Dean. Now breakaway for Harb, going in alone, she scores! Nice little deke right at the goal mouth. And Harb, who set up the first goal, answers once more with another point, picking up a goal this time at 2:06 of the period to send Ottawa into their second lead. Nice play. Second point of the game, as we said, for Roddy Harb, 24-year-old lady out of Ottawa. Wait for assists on that play. Ball down, referee blows, and we're back underway.
Roddy Harb, unassisted.
It's an unassisted goal for Roddy. Nice solo effort there by her. York behind his own goal for Ottawa. Cram blocks it and chops one high and wide, and it bounces out of play. We'll face it off to the right of the Ottawa goal. 2-1 now, Ottawa leading, 12.5 to go. Third period of play. Chris Cram positions a man he'd like to get the ball to. Lucas Braun goes down to the corner. Cram's shot deflects, goes back into that corner. Digs it loose. Centering effort is blocked by Moses York. Second try, back to Braun. York again breaks it up. Now breaks free. York down the right wing. Tries to cut into the middle. Warded off by the defense, but still has it and shoots. And that goes wide. York out of the corner. Stick handling around. Got caught up in his wheels. Comes free, and York still controlling, but deep into that left wing corner. And then it's bounced out of play. We're actually up into the back of the chair of Chris Cram. Will face it off to the right of the Minnesota goal. New York will take the draw against Minnesota's Cram. Cram's taken almost all the face-offs here. Minnesota's going to make a change. Going off is Braxton Webush. And entering will be Jacob Ritter, number 22, the blonde-haired lad who takes a post to the left of Cram for the draw. Minnesota keeping all four between the face-off area and the goal crease. Back in the Ottawa zone, Hollis Pierce getting a shift in this game. Blocked the play, York picks it up. Rolls down the left wing, almost ran into his own guy Cameron, but then stick handles across the line, feeding Cameron. Back to York, still with it. Nice job all the way up the floor by Moses York. Centering feed, blocked by Chris Cram. He now tries to break free, looking, but nobody open yet. York cuts back to the middle. Angle off by York. Little interference run there by number 24, Minnesota, Lucas Braun. Minnesota still with it. Cram tries a long shot. Cameron blocks it with a stick, scoops it up quickly, and rolls it back into the select zone. Cram up the right. Runs into traffic. Slap shot blocked off of the wheel of number 43, Chris Pavone. Well, a collision. Cram almost falls out of his chair. Delayed offside as Minnesota had somebody cross the line ahead of Cram when he ran into a traffic jam there. Play stop. Face off. Back at center. 10:38 to go. Third period. 2-1. A very closely contested game between these two teams. Ottawa here for their third Power Hockey Cup tournament in their history. While this team from Minnesota, one of four teams that competes in power hockey in the state of Minnesota, is a first-year entrant into any tournament. There's another Minnesota team, the Saints, a veteran team, and the two-time defending Power Hockey Cup champions.
Penalty number 13, Chris Cram, Minnesota, for ramming.
Cram gets a ramming penalty. So a power play for Ottawa. Minnesota gaining a clear. Cram off for 2 minutes on that. This is the third power play of the game for Ottawa. Nobody has been able to score with a manpower advantage as yet. Minnesota's had one power play try of their own. Allison May breaking up a play, but now Roddy Harb has it. She's got 2 points in this game, assisting on the first goal by Ottawa and scoring the second on a breakaway. Ritter trying to clear. Does. Good stick handling there by Jacob Ritter, taking that feed from 24, Lucas Braun. Braun, Ritter, and Allison May killing it off for Minnesota. Meanwhile, the speedster York comes up the court. His pass is blocked and bounces back. Stays onside. Harb will fling it towards the net. It's stuck up in the wheels of the goalkeeper, Jason Zylstra, in here for the third period of play. Play halted. Face off to the right. .46 seconds of power play left for Ottawa. York on the draw, opposite 24 Braun, who wins it. Cleared by Minnie. Touch pass by Haycock, getting it up to York. Speeds across the center line. Blocked, and Lucas Braun sends it back in deep. Scott Haycock takes a look up court, but allows his speedster Awad to come in for it. Mohamed Awad turning. Stick handles across. Hit center. Long flipper to the net. Blocked by the goalkeeper, Zylstra. Cleared by Minnesota. Just a couple of seconds of power left. Bounces wide of the Minnesota net. 2-1. Ottawa leading.
Minnesota, full strength.
Minnesota back to full strength. Jacob Ritter couldn't clear. Reaching to keep play alive is York. Turns and shoots. That's blocked by Lucas Braun. Ritter gets it. Bouncing it back into the attack zone. Cram out of the penalty box. Back on for Minnesota. He's wearing the red cap, wearing lucky number 13. Allison May now stops it just inside of center. But it's offside as May's pass to Braun. Braun had not yet cleared the zone. Face off back to the right of the Minnesota goal with 8:07 now remaining. Will Ottawa go to a defensive shell, or will they keep the coals to the burner here and try to pad their lead? Scoreless first. Each team scored once in the second, and a Harb on a breakaway has given Ottawa their second lead of the hockey game. And here is Harb with it. She's been a good, steady performer. Pass up court, block. Jason Ritter almost had it, Jacob Ritter rather, but it's knocked down with a high stick. You can play it up to the height of the crossbar. That's the rules in the game of power hockey. Nets shorter than they are in ice hockey to compensate for the chair-bound athletes in this sport. Cram pokes a play ahead for Jacob Ritter. Nice little move to slow down and get around Pavone. Brought it across the line to Cram. Cram going down the right side, trying to cut out in front. Backhand shot blocked. Didn't get to the goaltender McBride, who's looking around both sides to make sure where it is. Ritter has control. Getting it over to Lucas Braun. Braun's pass doesn't go anywhere, and Harb races in to control it after her defense. Made a touch pass over to her. Roddy Harb. Bouncing one, can't clear. Braun holds it in. Passing it through to Cram. Cram had it knocked away, retrieves and gains control. Shot right on. Ritter the rebound. Oh, and McBride comes up with back-to-back saves there on a Minnesota press. It is Jacob Ritter trying to do something. Bounces it back to Cram. His pass deflected off of an Ottawa player going wide. Hustling over is Pavone. He gains control. Pavone center and crossing, but then lost control of the ball. Cram once again from Minnesota. Long shot deflected high and bounces out of play. We'll face it off now to the left of the Ottawa goal. 6:33 to go. It's a 2-1 game. Ottawa leading Minnesota here in the first game of the Power Hockey Cup. They're going to call a center ice face. Awad and Cram on the draw. Those are the two goal scorers from our second period. Cram turning. Harb controls, however, for Ottawa. Trying to hold the zone, but brought it back into her own end. Turns. Sends a bouncer. Allison May blocks it out in front of her goal, 20 feet out in front. Chris May back in behind his own net for it. Sends a pass up ice. Cram's pass blocked. Cram will retrieve. Circles in front of his goal. Could be dangerous. Ritter reaches in, and Jacob plays it back down into the Ottawa end. Awad goes behind his goal, rounds it to the left, and just clears it out. Allison May blocking it out in front. Chris Cram getting back from Minnesota to take a pass from her. Cram now headmans it for Jacob Ritter. Getting it down deeper for Lucas Braun. Braun warded off as it was taken away by Scott Haycock, the captain for Ottawa. Cleared out to center, and Minnesota will have to wait for everybody to get onside. Cram controls. Forced to the outside by Awad, but continues deeper into the zone. Those two tie up. Slapped at, cleared, and Ritter will not be able to hold it in. Harb after it. Bounces it off the boards out into the high slot, but Cram is there to recover for Minnie. Bounces one on a chopper wide of the Ottawa goal. Roddy Harb around her net. Harb with a goal and an assist. Bounces one and heads past May. Stopped at the side of the net by the goalkeeper Zylstra, who sends it back out to center ice, and that's going to be an offside play. Back we come to the right of the Ottawa goal. Minnesota continuing to get some opportunities here, looking for one to tie. York will take the face-off. He's been a solid performer here for Ottawa in this game. These teams are allowed one level 1 player, and that's usually a person who has a lot more physical mobility, as we see with number 13, Chris Cram of Minnesota. And the number 1 player is number 7, Moses York for Ottawa. And he has been a factor. Braun tries the center. There's a big log jam of traffic out in front. Again, no other chairs can get into that goal crease area. Braun had it behind the goal, tried to flip it out in front, blocked. Officials rearrange the net to make sure it's on the proper moorings there as the ball comes back into the Minnesota zone. Getting down towards 4 minutes remaining. Cram with it. Headman pass to Braun. Braun's got Ritter on his left. Tries to thread it through and does. Jacob Ritter after it, takes a shot, partially steered wide. Cameron behind his goal. The oldster in this game, in his 40s. Cameron with it. Slides it up along the rail and out it goes to center. Grabbed up by York. Chopped away from him, and he'll have to circle back into his own zone for it. Moses York. Can't get it around Ritter. Gets a second try at it and bounces it back into the Minnesota end. Big chop by Cram. Braun after it. York beats him to it on a good burst. He had the right angle to do so. Takes it around his net. Heads up the left. Crosses center. But we've got an interference penalty being called against Cameron as he is throwing a block out there to prevent the Minnesota players to defend. So this is a huge chance now for Minnesota as they'll have a late game power play. Boy, do they need one. Only their second power play of this game. They trail, Minnesota does, 2-1 with 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the period 3. Minnesota looking for a goal to tie and force a 5-minute overtime. The rules also say if it's tied after overtime, we go to a shootout. 4-on-3 power play advantage for Minnesota. Cram with it. There's a shot blocked by the goaltender McBride. Thalia McBride had numerous saves in this game. Minnesota has to get onside. Harb trying to break it up. Harb rather. But now the other Ritter is out there, the twin brother. It's Nathan Ritter on to replace his brother Jacob. Awad will turn and fling it down into the Minnesota end. May, behind her goal, hands it off to Lucas Braun, number 24. Braun across to the right side for Chris Cram. His shot is nicely stopped by Awad, forcing a retreat from Minnesota to corral the ball. 1:07 left in the power play. Cram back out to help May. Cram down the right, crosses center. That's where the offsides are called. Sends it goalward. Oh, and Braun just missed a tip in. Lucas Braun tries to play it out in front and does. Cram takes a jab at it, and it rolls just wide of the goal. Minnesota on the power play for another 38 seconds. There's a scramble in front, and as Cram reached in, he chipped it just wide. Braun plays it back off the wall to the point. Cram sends one towards the net. Nice blocker save there by the goaltender, Thalia McBride. Cleared by Mohamed Awad, but not out. Cram has it. His shot blocked by Awad. Awad continues to pursue. Tying up Chris Cram, the top player for the Minnesota Selects, wearing number 13. Awad bounces it off the wall. Harb gets there to block. Penalty has expired to Cameron. He's back on the court, wheels into the corner and picks up control of the ball. Can't clear it. Chopped wide by Cram. 1 minute to go, third period. It's a one-goal game. Ottawa leading Minnesota. Nets come loose. And it was because of an Ottawa player, and we'll face it off to the left of their net now with 57 seconds to go. Timeout called by Minnesota. Each team getting one per game, just like ice hockey. Or Ottawa's calling it. My apologies. As they'll set up some defensive strategy here on a real hard court press that we're getting now for the Minnesota Selects in the waning stages of this game. They've benefited from having a late game power play as well. But now that has elapsed. We'll be on 4-on-4, which is normal, with just 57 seconds remaining in the third. Awad scored first in this game for Ottawa, 2:17 into the second. Chris Cram tied it up for Minnesota at 8:40 of the second period. And it stood that way until a breakaway at 2:06 of the third here by Roddy Harb, her second point of the game, to give Ottawa the lead that they are now nursing into the final minute of our opening game of this sixth tournament. These tournaments have been played every 2 years. The very first one was in Minneapolis in 2004, won by the Minnesota Stars. In 2006, it moved to Calgary, where the Calgary Selects were crowned champions. Back to Minneapolis in 2008, Calgary Selects again winning it. In 2010, it went to Toronto. The Minnesota Saints won the first of their two, including 2012 when the tourney was held in Ottawa. Now back here in the great state of Minnesota for the fourth time. And can the Minnesota team pick up a three-peat for the Saints? Or will somebody else rise to the occasion? Pool A play includes Calgary, the Minnesota Saints, Carolina, and Toronto. While this pool, of which both Minnesota Selects and Ottawa Capitals are competing, include the Michigan Mustangs and the Philadelphia Power Play. 3 Canadian teams and 5 U.S. teams competing in the 6th Power Hockey Cup. What a great outlet for these physically handicapped people to play a sport that they so much enjoy. And what a great physical outlet it is for them. Chris Cram will take the face-off against York. From the draw. Should say that was Awad taking the draw. Now Harb coming up. A shot. She scores into the empty net as Minnesota had pulled the goalkeeper. And Ottawa scoring at 14-11. Harb again with her second goal of the period to pretty much do in the Minnesota Selects. Goalkeeper Jason Zylstra back into the twine for Minnesota as we'll go back to 4-on-4 play here to finish it. 49 seconds to go. Cram wins it, trying to get it to Harb. Another unassisted goal for Harb. That's 2 of those in this period. Boy, is she dangerous. 2 goals and an assist for Roddy Harb. An opportunistic playmaker out there. Assisting on the first goal by Awad and scoring the last 2. Center face-off. Awad on Cram. Cameron picking it up for Ottawa. Hands it off to Harb. Why not? She's deadly. Cram trying to block it away from her. It pops loose. Picked up now by Jacob Ritter. Back to Cram. Shot blocked. Minnesota will try everything right now, but they're offside, so the other 2 chairs have to come back across center. They do, and it's dumped back in. Awad stops the play. He'll go back in behind with just 15 seconds to go as the clock is ticking quickly back down to 0. And that's going to do it as they roll it slowly all the way back with just a half a dozen seconds remaining in this opening game of the 2014 tournament. Hart picks up a loose biscuit out in front, shoots wide, but that's all she wrote. The Ottawa Capitals defeating the Minnesota Selects 3-1 to open up the tournament. 2 goals and 1 assist by Roddy Harb. Both goals unassisted here in the third period, providing the difference for Ottawa. Great effort, very close match all the way through, but Ottawa will take a day off now, come back tomorrow, and they'll have 2 games like all these teams will. 8 teams in this tournament. Ottawa picks up the first one. At 4:45 today, a Pool A game between the Toronto Lake Raiders and the Carolina Fury. And we will be back and have the webcast of that game as well. All games of this 2014 tournament will be webcast at powerhockeycup.com. Hope you enjoyed this opener. Remember, 4:45 is game 2 of this tournament. My name is Wally Shaver. Hope you enjoyed the first one. Once again, the final score, the Ottawa Capitals 3, the Minnesota Selects 1. Good evening. Or afternoon, wherever we're at. Well, that was good.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that was my pleasure. Believe me. Be ready for Go for Hockey now.
Yes, we're all ready now.
Good game, actually.
Yeah, it was.
That was close, yeah. Could have gone either way pretty easily.
Yeah. This is only the pool play, so we'll probably see each other again.
Yeah, if they play again, it's gonna be a good game if they play again.
Yeah.
So who?
Half hour before the next game?
Yep. Who plays in the Toronto versus Carolina.